My transphobic mom is banning me from driving just because my friend is trans. I won't stand for it. Am I the a-hole?
No, I mean, based on what I've heard so far, no.
0% the a-hole. Let me provide some context. I, 19 female, have been talking about moving in with two of my friends from the last job I worked at for quite a long time. At the time we made these plans, we were all working at the same place and it was going great. Up until I got let go for my many times of being away from my station too long, aka taking bathroom breaks because they won't let us sit down and my back was killing me and I couldn't take a breather within the sight of the managers because I'd get yelled at. Oh, sounds like retail.
I'd like to speak to the manager.
Yeah.
That's tough. I never had an issue with that until they started firing people and many quit because of the work conditions. And so to make up for the sparse staffing, they would give me double shifts, causing me to get burnt out very quickly. So to fill the gap, I've been doing DoorDash just so I'm at least not a complete loser. Anyway, on to the meat and potatoes of the story. Sometime after telling my mom, 55 female, what the possible plans were for the move-in, I went and asked my friends if they were all right with me telling my mom the whole scoop because they'd eventually meet face-to-face anyways if we'd be helping each other move, get our stuff in, all of that jazz. I would never tell another person who's never met my friends that they're trans unless they were okay with me doing so. So basically, it seems like she's asking permission to be like, hey, can I tell my mom about you guys?
Is that relevant information?
I think it's more important, like, do they have a job? They gave me permission. And so I broke the news to my mom. Now, mind you, my mother is very much Christian and conservative. I, however, am Christian but not conservative. At first, she seemed kind of indifferent about it, so I figured, okay, this might not be that tough of a situation. Since then, our relationship has become extremely rocky and we've both been getting into arguments off and on for a couple of months now. The hostility and bigotry have all been thinly veiled under the guise of protecting me and caring about mine and my friend's salvation. Now, as much as it makes me sad to know that their view of God is based off of the impressions they've gotten from their own Christian upbringings, because I wish I could help them see what God really is about, I'm very much against pushing my beliefs on those who don't express interest in sharing them. I wholeheartedly understand and sympathize with those who have experienced religious trauma growing up, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone or want to make anyone relive it for that matter. However, this willingness to love everyone no matter what walk of life they come from is seen as blatant enabling to my mom. No matter how many times that I tried to explain to her that LGBTQ plus people aren't evil and they just want to live without being in constant fear. I'm asexual myself, and she even has an issue with that. None of it gets through. I've tried the put yourself in their shoes approach. I've tried explaining that Jesus literally ate dinner in the presence of way worse people. I quoted, "He who is without sin cast the first stone." Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So now, because I'm still choosing to go forward with my move and do everything I can to get back on my feet, I'm being threatened with having my car taken away from me, which of course would prevent me from doing my DoorDash and making money while I try to land a more solid job. Totally forgot about that.
Oh, shit. So that's like OP's main income.
Here's the thing. I pay for my car every single month and on time.
Wait, so how could they take it away?
Your mom can do nothing.
Unless it's under their name.
Not once have I asked my parents to help me with the car payments. I'm doing my part to be responsible, pay my bills, get more money rolling in, yada, yada, yada. And if you missed it, I'm legally an adult. I'm not an underage girl who's in way too quick of a hurry to grow up. I'm not being spontaneous. I quite literally planned this months in advance. And on top of that, I've been talking about moving out in general since I was 16. It sounds like OP bought it. They didn't say that outright, but
A lot of first cars are bought by parents.
100%. Interesting. But I knew I didn't have anything close to the required means at the time. My plan wasn't even to specifically pick people who are part of the LGBTQ plus community to move in with. I don't think you should be like, I need a gay roommate.
Yeah, that feels like a weird filter, but maybe it's like you feel more comfortable.
And I guess
around.
OP's saying that they're not doing that. So
Yeah, interesting phrasing.
That's just who my friends happen to be, and I honestly don't care. It neither breaks my leg nor picks my pockets. I have exactly zero qualms. Now I'm caught in the crossroads between feeling like a complete screw-up / problem child and trying to push forward because I know I deserve for good things to happen to me. My mom keeps reeling me in and making me feel ridiculous, telling me that I'm acting out of desperation and jumping at the closest opportunity I see just because I didn't have many friends growing up. So much screaming, crying, and claims of betrayal while I'm staying mostly stoic the whole time. Deep down inside, it hurts. It hurts to know that I could be hurting my own mother. I'm having a fight with myself and my mother at the same time, and I honestly do not know how much more I can take. Please, someone tell me I'm not crazy. Anyone.
Wow. I mean, you're not crazy for living with this person.
Absolutely not. It sounds like your intention is to be supportive of them.
Yeah. Like, I think OP's intention is all there, but the way OP went about it, like, was just not setting them up for success.
Again, like, why share it?
Why share it
in the first place?
Also, if you know your mom is going to be conservative and, you know, super religious, like, you don't need to share every bit of information with your parents.
Yeah, 100%.
You don't, I mean, you don't, like, you can, and like in some cases that's good, but in this case, it doesn't feel like it's necessary or helpful, and it's only made your life a little bit harder. And obviously the mom's an a-hole.
1,000,000,000%. What should OP do here?
See if you can get the car under your name. I think just move in. Who cares?
Yeah, move in. I wonder how the trans friend is doing in all this, if the mom has hopefully not done anything to them. I would be curious for everyone down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on the situation, what you would do. If you've had any experiences with your parents, close family, friends, whatever, that didn't agree with your viewpoint and you had to, like, you know, stand up for your friends or something like that. Like, how did you handle that?
Yeah, it's a tricky situation.
It's a very tricky situation.
Let us know, and we'll talk to you soon. And let's get into this next story.
Boom.
My mother demands I give her money from my book release, but I refuse.
Am I the asshole?
What's up with all these mamas and daddas trying to get in their children's pockets?
So my parents have demanded money from any income I've had most of my life. When I was 12, I had a paper route that I never saw a dollar from. And when I was older, I constantly had to give/loan money to them and even used an entire paycheck to help cover rent more than once.
Oh my God.
I always assumed it was both. But after my parents split up, my dad stopped asking for money and my mom didn't. So it was obvious that she was the one always pushing for it. That's so lame. Like you should teach your kid to make money and like invest it in stuff. Like if you take it away, then they never learn the value of money.
I hate when parents do this. I hate it.
It's so lame. I love my mom, don't get me wrong. She did a lot for us, right, with raising me and siblings. As much as it sucked to keep giving my own money, I felt that I had to pay her back for everything she did. Misguided, I know. It's like you don't know the reality distortion field of your upbringing until you're out of it.
Yeah,
He probably thinks it's just normal. Like, oh yeah, my parents asking for all of my money, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's not normal. But after my parents split up, she completely went off the deep end. She started doing heavy drugs and constantly going out to see men.
Oh.
Dang, where's that pocket money going? Hopefully to some birth control. You don't want a little brother. Or maybe you do.
Not like this.
I try not to judge her, but it all came to a head when I brought my sons over for a family Thanksgiving years ago, and she literally spent the entire day in her room with two guys getting a tattoo. Is that what they're calling it these days? Now she has no stable income or home and claims to be going to rehab every few months and has a new boyfriend every time I hear an update from her. She never makes an effort or time to see me or my family, including my 7-year-old son that she has never met.
Oh.
So I'm almost done writing a book. It's nothing spectacular, but I'm proud of it. And some people might even like it. I've been posting it on Facebook to my friends and family for people to help me review it and give their thoughts. A process that has taken a couple of years. And to no one's surprise, she has done nothing to help with. I plan to publish soon. And so I get a message from her out of the blue saying, with the money you get from your book, you can help me make sure I have a great Christmas with me and a boyfriend's name's kids. I've shrugged off similar messages from her in the past, but this one really set me off. All I said was, no, any money I make goes to my family. Damn.
Oh.
But I wanted to say so much more. She's still in contact with my siblings, so I don't want to upset her and cause more drama. What I wanted to say was, I'm an amateur author doing their first book. This won't make much, if anything at all. And on the off chance I hit the proverbial lottery and people like it more than I'm expecting, I still won't give you a cent. My wife deserves help bringing in money for our family. My kids deserve a good education. And I have friends that say sup every couple of weeks and ask about my children more than you do. So I would give them money before you. So F you, F your boyfriend, F his kids that you care about more than your own grandparents. I just wanted to get this off my chest, and thank you.
OP coming in hot.
OP is a wordsmith. What can I say?
That is true.
You know, write this book.
Yeah.
Publish it right now. We'll read it, and you'll probably get more hits on this than your book.
There we go. I do have to say, if the mom is optimizing to grift and just siphon as much money off of OP as possible, a first-time self-published book release
Not
is
the
maybe not
place.
the most effective route.
Low key, like OP probably got a ton of traction on this Reddit post.
What if?
It's a marketing strategy.
I was thinking the exact same thing. That's kind of genius.
Riley, pull up the link. What if someone asks, hey, what's the book? And he links it in the comments. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
If I had a self-published book, I would write a ton of crazy Reddit stories and then just mention a book, but not say anything about it.
Wow.
And then I would respond saying, what's the book?
That is genius. Wow, we're cooking.
Yo, when did it come out? Let's give OP a shout out.
Yeah, let's do it.
Archblade, The Legend of the Defiler.
Defiling what?
I think we've been hoodwinked.
Hey, you know what? Game recognized game.
Game recognized game.
You got us.
You got us. Fucking all right. We're plugging Archblade the
Archblade.
Defiler. Fuck you. Fuck you. You fucking got us.
Game recognized game.
All right, but let's get into the game of this next story.
Let's do it. Am I the a-hole for not letting my son go to his bio dad's 1-year sober ceremony just so he can show off what a great dad he is?
What, does he deserve some kind of medal for sobriety?
I, 23 female, have a son, 3, with a man, 23 male. Just recently, his bio dad asked for him to be at his 1-year certificate ceremony. I expressed how uncomfortable I was going with him, and I've asked multiple family members on their thoughts, and they said that I'm being selfish for not allowing my son to go.
So the bio dad is the 23-year-old. She just has a kid with him, but is not with him right now.
So a little backstory. I got pregnant with my son in 2019 when I was 19 years old. His bio father was a closeted alcoholic and hid it from me until the time my son was born. And in 2020, I eventually left him before my son was born and I moved in with my parents. Everything went downhill from there since the start of COVID. My parents were really strict with COVID rules regarding holding my son. My son's bio dad did not like those rules, and that's when the yelling and screaming at me would begin. In 2021, I met someone else and moved out of my parents' house. The original bio dad and I have ended things a while ago, and my current partner still helps me raise my son. He does everything a dad is supposed to do, but my son's bio dad legally abandoned my son after starting to drink, and he started using substances.
Legally abandoned. I like that.
Yeah, I guess
Like, do they sign the paperwork? Just like, hey, this is not my kid anymore?
I'm guessing legally abandoning is basically completely waiving your rights to the child. He, as of last year, went to a program to help him get his life together. But anytime I have a conversation with him, he's only wanting to talk about how much he misses being with me and how much he regrets taking my love and kindness for granted. I've tried to make ways for him to build a relationship with my son without my son getting confused, as my son does not understand that his bio dad is his dad, but he calls someone else dad. I'm guessing her current partner.
That's confusing for the kid.
He asked me to let my son go to his ceremony to show off how great of a dad he is when he knows nothing about my son.
So basically, the bio dad is like, hey, I'm a year sober. Let my son come so I can have a relationship with him. But he waived his rights as a parent.
He keeps telling me how great of a dad he'll be and that he's worthy to be in my son's life as a dad. His actions don't align with his words, and when I ask him how he's going to back his words up to match his actions, he just says the same thing of how he'll be a great dad. I've recently told him that he can't just say he'll be a great dad. He needs to show me and not tell me. And when he doesn't get his way, he stops contact for months at a time. Yeah,
Okay, bro,
That's
you're not ready.
So am I the a-hole for not letting my son go to his bio dad's 1-year certificate? Update, I realized that I need to add some context here. My son's bio dad will only contact me when he wants to be praised for being a dad. Yes, he got sober, but he chooses not to be a part of my son's life. He only wants to see him when he knows he gets praise out of it. I've been raising my son without my son's bio dad since the day that my son was born. When he doesn't get his way, he stops responding, he stops communicating. The last time I had contacted him in regards to the ceremony, he had wanted his mom to take my son, and I was not comfortable with that. My son does not know his grandma very well, and we do try to get him to know her. Just our schedules don't always line up as I work and I go to school. And she runs her own business. And number 2, he'll be around a lot of people he doesn't know and would get overwhelmed. And when I expressed how uncomfortable I was with that, he stopped communicating. Only message I got from him was, "Have a blessed day." Previously, he hadn't texted me after my son's 3rd birthday, which was in April, And then he didn't text me until before Father's Day with a message saying how since it's Father's Day, how is my kid doing? He's never asked what my son is into, what his likes are, his dislikes, how school's going for him. My son is super smart and I love being able to brag about that. He never takes any interest unless it's going to allow him to get praise for not doing anything, just simply claiming that he's a dad. And that's not what being a dad should be. He hasn't changed just because he got sober. He's the same inconsistent person that he was before he got sober. So am I the a-hole?
So basically the question is she the a-hole for not allowing this biological dad who legally gave up rights to the child from entering into the child's life?
Yes.
And also on top of that, he's like not really making an effort besides wanting praise for certain things.
Yeah, it seems like he's like wanting to get back with OP now. And he's kind of like, oh, hey, like, let me try to look good in her eyes by like doing things with.
But he's not even really trying to make something work with the son.
Exactly.
It's like, it feels like performative.
100. I think that's exactly what it is.
I think like, yes, the soberness is a step towards the right direction. I think there needs to be consistency. The fact that he's not responding for months at a time is huge red flag.
That's absolutely insane.
But I want to know what everyone else would do. Put your answers below.
Oh, and this is also submitted by an incredible OKOP fan, Global Base 9359. If you want to submit your stories, you can go to r/OKOP show. That's where this one is from. Throw your stories in there. We love reading them. So send them in.
Thank you for the submission. We love when our community submits stories directly here.
Absolutely. Send them in. We might just read it on the next one. See you then.
Peace.